As a collector, I think we all know the feeling of seeing some upcoming announcements of the waves that they have planned to come out in the near future, and sometimes we may think to ourselves, why would they do that? Who wants that guy? This whole wave is trash. We've all been there at one point or another, but I'm here to tell you that I actually like when this happens. Stick around for my 5 reasons of why I love horrible waves. In no particular order, starting off with number 5, let's just get the most obvious one out the way. It's going to save me money. It's 2024 and people are feeling a pinch. Resources are stretched thin and basic necessities are costing more than ever. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, everything is great. Everything is not great. Food is through the roof. Gas prices are sky high. Utility bills are costing more than ever. My car insurance just went up for no reason. I didn't even call them, but they found a way to pick up my premium. It's costing more and more just to be able to run in place these days. I don't know if you guys are catching on to that, but that's the theme of what's going on. People aren't really getting a chance to save money, and having one less expense can bring you a peace of mind that you might not have otherwise. We're in a time right now when saving is probably the best thing you could probably do. Tomorrow is not promised, and I would rather have a nest egg of cash than a nest egg of plastic that I can't eat or do anything with. These things only look good when everything else is taken care of. If there was no food on the table, your Spider-Man wouldn't look all that popping no more. So with that being said, this is one of the reasons that I appreciate when a horrible wave comes out. It makes the decision all that easier. I don't want it. It's not even tempting. You can have it. This gives me an opportunity to save money that I was looking to cut corners probably anyway. Saving money is hard, but it's easier when you don't have things tempting you on a daily basis right in front of your face. Keeping it pushing at number 4. You see, when a horrible wave comes out, it allows me the time now to buy backwards if that's something I wanted to do. When waves are constantly releasing, they kind of keep you pushing forward. They kind of keep you looking at the next month, the next pre-order, and you have the whole future lined up ahead of you. They kind of have your life set up for you. But that's only if you want those things. Then you have to keep pushing forward. If you don't want those things, it gives you a break. See, trying to complete teams or put certain characters together, you're not going to always be able to do it pushing forward. You're going to have to go backwards to find somebody that was probably released once or rarely or just that special guy. You're going to have to go back. Now, we all know the problem with the secondary market is that the prices are going to level up. You know how that goes. Collecting is hard enough as it is, but when these prices just keep going up, it makes it really difficult. See, this is exactly why I love when a bad wave comes out, because it gives me the time now to go backwards. It lets me look at a figure that I've been thinking about for a while or I've been wanting, but I just haven't had the opportunity because my time or my money has been tied up. But now that's not the case. That horrible wave is now taking up a time slot. That's going to give me like 2 or 3 months where I don't have to worry about going into Walmart or going into Target or wasting my gas, driving all the way over there, going to the back of the toy aisle. I can save all of that time. I already know what's there. I don't want it. This is all future Ross right here. So now I can push forward or backwards, if you know what I mean. Also, instead of buying a whole wave, now that past figure that I wanted is probably going to be a little amped up. But now I probably have room in the budget to buy 1 or 2 higher price figures than I would have if I had to buy a whole wave of figures that I'm really not feeling. When they drop a wave that you really hate or that you really don't care for, you should take it as a moment to diversify. Collecting is not like linear. You don't just source from pre-orders all the time. That's not real. Collecting makes you have to expand your horizons. A real collection and collecting, you're going to have to go out and source from different places. Garage sales, specialty stores, comic shops, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, things like that. Now you have more time and money to go around and pursue these avenues because you don't have to waste your time buying this horrible wave that they putting out because some horrible movie's coming out and they got to make it match, you know? That don't got nothing to do with me. Halfway there, we're up to number 3, getting other things. Listen, man, I love collecting as much as the next man, but that's not the only thing that I like. See, now that we have some time on our hands, I think it's important for us to remember that we have a whole bunch of other things going on in our life besides collecting. Collecting is not the only thing that I'm into. I have a lot of things that pull my attention, and none of them are cheap. Sneakers ain't cheap. You seen the price of Jordans lately? That's if you hit the lottery. Fitteds cost money. PS5 games are running a grip, and getting the game It's just the first part. Then you need the season pass. Then you got to get the DLCs. Then you got to get the extra coins. Let's not forget that I got to get a subscription just to play with my friend. Speaking of subscriptions, how many do you have? We got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Stars, Paramount, Apple Music. Yo, you see what I'm saying? These things are on the back burner on autopilot, just milking out your account. You're not even paying attention, but that's just coming out. And everything that I just talked about is for somebody who I'm assuming is single. You want to add a wifey into the mix, and those numbers are going to skyrocket. Let's not even talk about kids right now. We're going to leave them out. It feels good to switch things up and not always be chasing the same thing. You know what I mean? You want to be able to get out the house, go to a theme park, go on vacation, enjoy life, get out the room. I mean, the room is cool, but there's so much more going on outside that's not in here. You want to be able to spend time with the people that you love while you still have a chance to do it. And that is going to cost you money. You should be glad when Hasbro drops the ball. They're doing you a favor. Here we are with number 2. It gives me time to reflect on what it is that I have. One thing that I've been able to learn throughout the years is this. We spend a lot of time going out and getting our figures. We spend even more time coming back to the crib and setting things up and making our displays perfect and putting everything right where we want it. We spend a lot of time doing that. More time than we want to admit, trying to make our displays as perfect as possible, right? A lot of the time, we get so involved in the chase and trying to get something new in our hands that we really don't take the time to sit back and appreciate what it is that we've built, what it is that's right in front of us. Our displays are constantly evolving right in front of our eyes. And if we don't purposely take the time to sit back and appreciate it, it'll go right over our heads, unappreciated. I'm constantly moving characters around. I'm constantly putting people here and putting teams there. I just rearranged my whole room last month. To be honest with you, sometimes it feels good just to sit back and not do anything and just enjoy what it is that I have. Because getting a new figure is going to disrupt something. Now I got to move something. Sometimes I just sit back in my chair and I spin around and I just look at it and I'm just like, yo, I can't believe, how did I get all of these guys? Like, how did this start? Like, where was the avalanche? We just wake up one day and boom, it's there. But how many evolutions have you had throughout your collecting journey? It started off on one shelf, right? Started off with one bookcase. How have you grown from then? Sometimes you just have to be mindful and appreciate what it is that you've accomplished. And as a collector, it's very hard, because I look at my collection, like I said in my last video, and I don't see what I have. I see what I'm missing. I see what I don't have. I see the gaps and the flaws in my collection. That's what I see outright. That's the first thing I see. And that's the problem with collecting. You have to consciously put yourself in a state of mind to appreciate what it is that you have. So when they do drop a wave that you really hate or that you really don't care for, take it as a time to reflect on everything that you've built and look at what it is that you have. And here we are with number 1. I love horrible waves because it gives me an opportunity to miss it. At the end of the day, I think it's best to look at it like this. Everything is good in moderation. Too much of anything can be bad, and looking at the same things over and over and over can get boring and monotonous. You know what I mean? Once you know what's out there and once you know what's for sale, it's kind of a done deal. It's going to pretty much be that until that season is over, until that movie is over, whatever the case is. Sometimes, if you're not mindful about it, collecting can turn into a chore. And then all the fun is stripped away from it. And nobody wants that because that's what we're here for, right? I try to look at it like this. I'm from New York City, born and raised. I'm from the Bronx, right? And I love pizza. But if you was to tell me that I had to eat pizza every day for the rest of my life, all of a sudden, pizza wouldn't be so good no more. Matter of fact, I'll probably hate it. It's the same thing with collecting. When something is accessible to you every day, all the time, it loses its appeal. It loses its value. So whenever these companies decide to drop a bad wave, I see a cash grab in the making, and I don't want to be a part of it, I just think to myself, yeah, I'm going to give them a little time. I'm going to spin the block and double back on them later on after I had a little break. Because there's a whole bunch of other things I got to do that's on my list. We already ran through that. So there you have it. Those are the 5 reasons why I love horrible waves. I think sometimes you have to see an opportunity in disguise and think to yourself, this may be a blessing. Can you imagine if you liked every single figure that they released for the entire year? How would you keep up? Who wouldn't make the cut? Until next time. Peace.